Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the weekly update. We have a little bit of a technical difficulty. Bear with me because the chat is going to be a little slow to respond to because before I went live, the chat was visible on OBS. As soon as I went live, it decided to kick me out, and I cannot get logged back into my own chat. So I still have it on the browser, but that is behind. So you know what? We're going to deal with it. We're going to do what we can. Not a big deal. Doing it live. And Shell, we did it. Yes, welcome everyone. Please repost the live. Also, if you can, follow the different links. Support me where you choose. Support me where you can. This week's been crazy, guys. It's been very crazy. It's been very unfortunate. It's been very violent. It's been a lot of things. I'm not glad about it. F it, do it live. That's right, Karen Kekius. Let's go. That's right. That one's for you. But guys, first story we start with the government section, which also is going to contain a little bit of law enforcement because there wasn't enough law enforcement standalone stories. But this one is one of the reasons why I don't think women should be police officers. Let me know what you think. Well, let's watch as this man laughs at two female police officers who are attempting to arrest him.
He's in a game for him.
They're trying their best. They really are.
He's not even trying.
They're trying. He's not.
They're starting to laugh too. God, he's getting it.
He's got his phone. He's having a good old time. Guys, this is just pathetic. But I'm surprised he hasn't run away at this point.
Well, the cops can't do their jobs. They
So-
cannot subdue a 140-pound Hispanic guy.
So they had to get a man to step in to help. Guys, this is one of the reasons why most female officers are a danger. They're a danger to the public. They're a danger to suspects. Primarily because they don't have the strength to de-escalate a situation, to get control of the situation. So they are forced to escalate far faster than a normal cop can. Now, there are going to be very small men that are also should not be cops, but when you can't even subdue a suspect of this size and you have to resort to a taser, or if that doesn't work, a firearm, because you just can't simply detain somebody, it's not good for anybody involved. The residents are going to pay a huge lawsuit. The person might end up being shot or killed. Like, it's just not good. We have a little video here getting into government, talking about Bernie Sanders, guys, because everybody loves their favorite socialist who loves to talk about fighting the oligarchy while being a member of it. So just check out. It's not very long. It's 19 seconds.
How can I get by on one house? I need 5 houses.
I own 3 residences. Yeah, I do.
I need jet planes to take me all over the world.
Think I'm going to be sitting on a waiting line at United? That's the only way you can get around. No apologies for that.
Sorry, the American people. We've got the money. We've got the power.
Guess what? I'm a United States Senator.
Yeah, weird how everything he says is not what he does. Now, I don't know about you, but I tend to believe people's actions more than I believe their words. So when his actions are that of an oligarch, but he's speaking out against the oligarchy, I don't trust him. Kara says they're all hypocrites. For the most part, yeah. I think most politicians are hypocrites. I think a lot of the leftists are definitely hypocrites. A lot of the people that claim to be on the right aren't. They are rhinos. They are Republicans in name only. I don't even like calling them Republicans. I don't even like calling myself a Republican. I am one. I'm registered as one. But oh God, it disgusts me. Like, most Republicans are part of the Uniparty. Most Democrats are part of the Uniparty. Just in general, the government kind of disgusts me, right? Like, they're not your friend. They definitely aren't. But we move on. This was from earlier in the week. This was posted on the 7th. This was a message from our president, your president, Donald Trump. My last warning, there will not be another one. Everyone wants the hostages home, speaking to Hamas. Everyone wants this war to end. Israel, the Israelis have accepted my terms. It's time for Hamas to accept as well. I have warned Hamas about the consequences of not accepting. This is my last warning. And Senator Marco Rubio just headed that way. Things are going to escalate, I fear. I don't want them to. I don't think it's our business. I don't really want to be involved in the Middle East anymore. But I also don't like seeing people still held hostage by terrorists. So what do? I mean, I guess we could provide material and intelligence support to Israel. I don't really like that either. I just kind of wish we would stay out of the Middle East, stay out of Africa, stay out of Europe, just stay out of everywhere. Just do our own thing, guys. We really need to prioritize ourselves. We're $37 and more trillion in debt. At what point do we prioritize ourselves? At what point do we get our own house in order? I mean, he is saying this is his last warning. There won't be another one. Thank you for your attention in this matter. That is a very serious warning. I really don't like it, though. We need to focus here. Like the top comment there says, America first, not our problem. Get your focus back on America. Israel creates its own problems. They should be left to deal with them. Guys, I think they are emboldened a lot by the fact that we always jump in to protect them. I don't think that's good for the world. I think Israel would be better served to protect itself and stop poking people. I don't know. It's probably a hot take, but that's just the way I feel about it. Rob Schneider has a good meme here, guys, because, you know, in general, the meme and the theme with the court system has been district judges have more power than a Supreme Court justice and the President of the United States. So here is the crossing of the Delaware with George Washington. But it's been turned into a meme. It says, but, sir, a district court judge has ruled that we cannot do this. Yes, they would have had to turn around if they believed what we believe now. And what would happen if they had turned around? What would this country look like if they followed a silly district judge? I don't think it would have turned out nearly as well as it has. No, we have issues still, but I think we've corrected a lot of our past mistakes, and I think that we are still improving. So how about we just ignore these silly district judges and we just get back to the program of making America great again? I think this sounds like a wonderful plan. Let's do that. Also, here you see there's a letter sent by Donald Trump to all of the NATO nations. It says a letter. You know, let me actually make this bigger because it's very difficult to read. Can you read it? Nope, still can't read it. Let me make it bigger. All right. A letter sent by President Donald Trump to all NATO nations. I am ready to do major sanctions on Russia when all NATO nations have agreed and started to do the same thing. And when all NATO nations stop buying oil from Russia. Yeah, calling out Germany on that one because for some reason they love to say they're against Russia, but then they buy a lot of energy, oil and natural gas from Russia, therefore funding the war in Ukraine while saying they support Ukraine. It's a very strange relationship. As you know, NATO's commitment to win has been far less than 100%, and when purchasing Russian oil by some has been shocking. It greatly weakens your negotiating position and bargaining power over Russia. Anyways, I'm ready to go when you are. Just say when. I believe that this, plus NATO, as a group, placing 50 to 100% tariffs on China to be fully withdrawn after the war with Russia and Ukraine has ended, will also be a great help in ending the deadly but ridiculous war. China has a strong control or even grip over Russia, and these powerful tariffs will break that grip. This is not Trump's war. It would never have started if I was president. And it started under Biden. Remember that, everyone. Weakness. It's Biden's and Zelensky's war. I'm only here to stop it and save thousands of Russian and Ukrainian lives. 7,118 lives lost last week alone. It's crazy. If NATO does, as I say, the war will end quickly. And all of those lives will be saved. If not, you are just wasting my time and the time, energy, and money of the United States. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. Seems pretty cut and dry. So, yeah, NATO, get with the program. If you actually want to fight this war and win the war that you claim you do, stop supporting Russia. Makes sense to me. Sherry here posts something that most people may not be aware of. or have forgotten, but the Smith-Mundt Act of 1948, it was an act that blocked the government from being able to use propaganda on the American people and the world. It was repealed by Obama in 2012 and needs to be reinstated ASAP. I agree, guys. Did you know that ever since Obama repealed this, it is no longer illegal for the United States government to lie and propagandize to its own people? And then you wonder, why is it that the government statistics don't seem reliable? Why is it that the government messaging seems off? And why is it that everything just seems wrong? Well, a lot of that is the government can legally use propaganda against you. We should reinstate the Smith-Mundt Act, and as Sherry here points out, we could call it the Charlie Kirk Act. This has been weaponized against the people. The repeal of the Smith-Mundt Act has. So let's bring it back. Let's absolutely bring it back, guys. Allowing the government to lie to its own people for its own ends is dangerous. It should not be permitted. I don't know what you guys think, but you can leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And this is a 3-minute video from Deepfake Quotes about stochastic terrorism. Let me know what you think.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Really?
It's called stochastic terrorism. The term sounds complicated, but the meaning is simple. Stochastic means random, unpredictable, but statistically inevitable. Terrorism here means the use of fear and violence for political gain. Put together, it describes a process where leaders, parties, or the press use words, not bullets, to inspire violence. They demonize their opponents, calling them monsters, traitors, or worse. They never say pull the trigger.
Or fascists, or Nazis, or racists, or bigots, or sexists, or, fill in the whatever Democrats have been calling people for years. And then you wonder why there's violence against the people that they talk about all the time. This kind of language, the left always says, from the right is dangerous, but when it's from their own,
Instead,
it's fine.
they create the environment where someone else eventually will. That is the essence of stochastic terrorism. The pattern is always the same. 1, inflammatory language is broadcast into the culture. 2, plausible deniability shields the speaker. I never told anyone to commit violence.
Yep.
3, radicalized or unstable individual acts. 4, the cycle repeats, the responsibility is avoided.
Yes. Does that sound familiar? We have the violent left that has been doing all kinds of crazy things lately. And as Karen points out, they have walked a dangerous line for over a decade. Why have they been permitted to do so? Why do we have the government saying these things about its own people?
This is not accidental. This is willful and deliberate. They know exactly what they are doing, and history proves it. Nazi Germany, Joseph Goebbels' propaganda machine labeled Jews as subhuman and vermin. The German people were told these neighbors were a threat to society itself. Violence became inevitable, and millions looked the other way. Rwanda, 1994. The radio station RTLM called the Tutsi minority cockroaches.
Kara says, I sent you some memes that touch on this. Ooh, I look forward to them.
That language primed the minds of ordinary citizens to carry out one of the fastest genocides in history. Do you see the pattern? The language comes first, the violence follows. Today in America, a domestic terrorism movement grows, not in the shadows, but in broad daylight. When the left calls their political opponents Nazis, evil, or enemies of the people, their objective is clear: dehumanize them, justify their removal, and silence them through fear. My lifelong question has always been, how could the German people look the other way as the Nazis carried out the final solution?
Well,
now you are seeing the answer in real time,
Yep.
in the sickening spectacle of people cheering the assassination of Charlie Kirk. The Democrat Party has a responsibility. The press has a responsibility, and so do the universities, which have poisoned impressionable minds with hatred, intolerance, and a warped view of history. Together, they have manufactured the conditions for violence. They must face that responsibility. They must accept culpability, because when you light the fuse, you cannot act surprised when the explosion comes. My friends, we are all anonymous, and today we are Charlie Kirk. They fear us not because we are violent, but because we see through their lies.
Ooh. Yeah, what do you guys think about that? What do you think about the language that's been used for the last decade or more by the people on the left to talk about people like you and me? I think we saw through this a long time ago, but we keep being told by the mainstream media that it's not happening, or that we need to not worry about it, or we're being unreasonable. When we talk about slippery slopes, we're told that, we're conspiracy theorists, we're crazy, we're projecting, we're whatever. They always try and make it seem like you shouldn't feel that way, discounting what we're seeing. Yeah. What do you guys think about this? This is bad. Yep, Sith Master Dad points out Gina Carano got fired from Star Wars for talking about this. She absolutely did. During COVID, she posted a post about neighbors turning in neighbors and how this happened in Germany. And she was fired from her job at Disney. And eventually, they've settled. We don't know the terms of that settlement. But yes, cancel culture has been around for a while. That was 5 years ago or so. But the left has been using this kind of language to justify and make it acceptable to be violent against their opponents for much longer than that. Tight shall address this directly to Obama. Oh, if you have the link for that, go ahead and put it in the chat. I will pull it up. But guys, while you're there, go and check out my profile. Go to the link in my profile to my website. You can get my replacement for Linktree, which has my links to my YouTube, my Rumble, my X account, has a link to Buy Me a Coffee, has a link to my business, has a link to a lot of things in there, guys. Check it out. I'm going to be adding an email list, subscriber sign up there, so that I can stay in contact with you if I get yanked off of some of these platforms. Because right now, all of that information is owned by the platforms that I'm on. I don't really like that. I want to be able to keep in communication with you. So I'm adding that feature here shortly. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, guys, check it out. Check out my website. I would appreciate it. Appreciate any support you can give. I also have tipping turned on here on X. Whatever you guys can afford. If you can't afford anything, just repost the live. Help it get out to more people. Let's get the follower numbers up. Let's get the viewer numbers up so that we can get our message out. Because we are the media now, guys. We all have to pick up the microphone where it was dropped this week. We all have to become Charlie Kirk. We all have to get the message out. So we're leaving that section, going into immigration. It's a short section this week because there's not a whole lot of stories. This is from earlier in the week, but Tommy Robinson, which we have a section for later, posted this, that Shabana Mahmood, first day in office, who is now in charge of the UK immigration system, over 1,000 illegals are chaperoned into the UK, paid for and protected by Britain's borders, all unvetted and will be housed and taken care of in hotels across country, all paid for by taxpayers. Guys, the Islamic leaders now, because if you look at the mayors in most large British cities, they're all Islamic. They are dominating the UK. The UK is in a really bad spot, but I do have a little bit of hope there. We have stories from today's March, September 13th, over in the UK. So bear with us. We'll get to that in just a minute. Immigration, another story. Everyone liked ridiculing the fact that all I did was talk about Arena, which is false. People obviously don't watch my content before they make comments to me on X. But if you look at this story, we have an illegal immigrant who is here, who murdered this young woman and dumped her body off a bridge. This illegal alien was released back on the streets, and instead of being handed over to ICE because of progressive laws and policies, why do we permit these progressive leaders to continue to allow policies that do this to our citizens? Dakar deserve better than this. Don't you think? This is a fight of good versus evil. This is not a race thing. This is an ideological battle. Because as I've posted countless times today on X, This is a battle of good versus evil. Evil kills and destroys. Good protects and creates. So in an evil world that is run by the Prince of Darkness, guys, choose good. Choose the Lord. Choose our Creator. Put good into the world and help protect innocent people like this. So yeah, Dakar deserved better, guys. But you know who else deserved better? Well, this 4-year-old, there was a Detroit man, Mr. Shahzad Hamidi from Pakistan. Yes, a Detroit man. I'm sorry, Shell. This is from your state. Always seems to have a story from your state, but that's fine. And also from Karen's state, you know, because misery is misery. No offense. Detroit man from Pakistan arrested for attempting to kidnap a 4-year-old boy to rape, armed with stun guns, zip ties, duct tape, and sedatives. This is who Democrats have imported into America. Now, I'm not saying that migrants and illegals are the only people that commit heinous crimes. They're not. But every single one of these that is happening in our country by a migrant that had no business being here in the first place is a crime that never needed to happen. They could have been completely avoided. Every killing, every assault that is committed by an illegal that is protected by Democrats should have never happened in the first place. What's up, Caddis? Glad you made it. Titan Shell says she can't find it. Well, Shell, good luck. Karen says it's in the main chat. I couldn't post it here. That's unfortunate. They're trying to use policy to subvert laws. They are. Ms. Yes, Karen, yes. Shell says, welcome to Caddis. Yes, welcome, Caddis, to the stream. Good for you to see. Yep, we'll go ahead and repost the live, everyone. Yes, a Detroit man, everyone. Detroit man from Pakistan that should not have been here in the first place. But we get to Tommy Robinson. We have a couple of stories here, guys. Check this out. They had a rally today over in London. And you can see here, as far as the eye can see, countless people. Countless people, guys. It is an estimated 3 million is what they're posting. Tommy says here, we're making history. I would agree with that statement because not that long ago, everyone has been posting that the UK has fallen. Now, it's very damn close. It's being led by a bunch of progressives. They're importing millions and millions of their own replacements. But apparently there are still a few million patriots left. Karen says, please share the live, everyone. Let's get some people in here. Yes, let's. I appreciate the mention, Karen. Let's see if we can get those viewer numbers up. If we can get the view numbers up, guys, let's see if we can break our personal best. 1,057 views is our personal best, guys. So let's try and break that. Every now and again, if you want, post the view number in the chat. That would be great. That'd be helpful because I cannot see it right now because OBS is being silly. I don't know why it kicked me out of my own chat, but hey, at least I can see it here on Restream's website. Elon went live with Tommy Robinson. He did. Elon has also said that he would financially support Conor McGregor's run for president of Ireland. If the UK has hope, it is in Tommy Robinson and Conor McGregor because their current leadership is not giving me a lot of confidence. But these two, there might be a very small bit of hope left for the UK, guys. Hopefully it's not completely fallen. But then you get the BBC coming out and smearing Tommy like this.
One of our top stories, and these are the demonstrations happening in London today. We have these pictures from close to, this is actually a Waterloo Bridge. This is where protesters are gathering at a rally.
Protesters.
A rally organised by the far-right activist Stephen Yaxley Lennon, also known as Tommy Robinson. It's reported that tens of thousands are gathering in the capital for those rallies.
Tens of thousands, my guys. Do you think that looks like tens of thousands? It's minimum hundreds of thousands, but it definitely looks like more than that. That video we showed earlier, you could see as they panned all the way down the road, it is just packed. The side streets are packed. Tens of thousands, everyone. This is the BBC, the British broadcasting company that is controlled by the government. Do you really think they want you to know the real number?
Most of the people there gathering, demonstrating against rising migration in the UK. We'll also show you live pictures of the counter demonstration. This is...
What is there, like 30 people there? Are we going to get a zoomed out view of the counter protest? What do you guys think?
Is a rally organized by Stand Up to Racism. Do you want to...
Stand Up to Racism, huh? Well, that's interesting because the person talking right now doesn't look like a native person from the UK. I don't know. Maybe they were born there. Maybe not. But in general, it's kind of funny that you see the government-controlled media is trying to downplay the size of the protest by Tommy Robinson. The protesters, not the patriots. Hang on a second. Hang on. Hey, guys. Why are we arguing? Hey, buddy. Don't do that, please. Okay? Share. Okay, buddy? Can you share, please? Can you share, please? Please? Thank you, buddy. The needle is moving fast. You can hear the panic in her voice. You really can. You really can. And I kind of like to hear it because their narrative is unraveling. Shame on you, BBC, as this person says, don't pay the license fee. Sharing is caring. That is correct, Sith Master Dad. Absolutely correct. So we got to make sure those kids care about each other. Oh, we get into violence, guys. There's an entire section on violence. This is the Officer Tatum because, you know, all of us right-wing people are such bigots and racists. We would never elevate a black man except Officer Tatum and, you know, numerous others. But yeah, let's see what the white people want to tell the black guy about how he should feel. I don't know. What do you guys think? It starts off with the subtitles, "You're surrounded by effing pigs and bigots." This is a white person telling a black person that they're surrounded by bigots. Interesting start.
You're surrounded by pigs and bigots.
What's wrong with these guys? They're here to protect you.
No, they're not. They're not here to protect you.
Well, if somebody comes on campus and they start blasting, who you think going to help you?
Yes, they're going to help themselves, guys. You can see these very well-adjusted, mentally stable people. If an unfortunate active shooter happened on campus, they're gonna protect themselves. They're not gonna worry about those fascist pigs. Like, those guys won't help.
Yourself? With what? They're gonna shoot you? Why are you shaking and being weird? These guys are not gonna shoot you. You upset? No, you're not. You're upset.
He's like, no, you're not. You're a little bit crazy.
Of a false reality.
People that don't like you because of your skin.
Who don't like me?
Think about the mental gymnastics here, guys. You have a progressive white person trying to tell a black person that his security detail hates him because of his skin color, and that the cops in the background hate him because of his skin color. This coming from a progressive white person trying to white-splain to a conservative black person. It's very strange. Like, I don't understand how they get here. Do you? Like, I've seen, like, Officer Tatum is not a small guy. I think he can handle himself. But this living in fear thing is, I don't understand why people choose this. Because progressives and the leftists, they choose to live in fear like this. They're the same ones that still wear masks after COVID. Like, they fear everything. Why would you choose to live in constant fear? It makes no sense. Especially virtue signaling to a minority person from a position of privilege, as they would call it. It's very strange. His security detail only sees green. That is probably true, because they're getting paid to be there. And Why would they want to hurt the person that is paying them to be there? That seems a little odd. Good point, Sith Master Dad. Rates just went up after this week, probably. Like, protection and insurance right now is going to be very expensive. Like, trying to put it on an event, especially an outdoor event right now, guys, insurance rates are going to skyrocket. Blair White, because we're such bigots here on the right, you know, we couldn't possibly support a transgender person. Oh, wait, nope, that's wrong, because Blair White is a male to female transgender that we all know and love. Sorry, guys. Like, I know you think that we're the bigots and we're you know, just awful people, but I just showed you we have our conservative folks here are very diverse. And we support them because they support good. Like I said earlier, guys, this is good versus evil. This is not a political thing. This is not Republican versus Democrats. This is not blacks versus whites. We have a white transgender person here, and we just had a black conservative here. Like, I don't understand your position. We have more diversity on our side than you do. And we're a lot more understanding because evil destroys and kills and good protects and creates. Choose good. Choose good, people. Choose good. Don't choose evil. They don't kill you because you're a Nazi. They call you a Nazi so that they can kill you. This goes back to that stochastic terrorism that we had on the video earlier. The name calling, the dehumanizing. They're doing this to justify the violence against people. I don't know what to tell you. Blair White is correct. I support Blair White. Blair White is a transgender person. Blair White is a conservative. Like, I don't know what you're, like, about as conservative as you can be as a transgender person. Like, that. We all support Blair White, guys. Go watch her content. And I call her a her because she actually passes as a her. But even she calls herself a him because she lives in reality. Look at the minorities that Charlie actually worked with coming out with stories that prove he was no bigot. That's right. And all of the posts that you see from the progressives that hated Charlie are all about he's a racist, he's a bigot, he's a whatever. But it's interesting that they never seem to post videos to show what what they're talking about. It's always he is this. They make declaratory statements with nothing to back it up. And when you ask them to back it up, they just repeat their claims. And then they're like, "Oh, he yelled chink." No, he didn't. That is not a nice thing to say. But he was calling out Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks. All the things they claim he says that are bigoted are all things that are taken out of context. They are things that they are twisting what was actually said. Overall, he was one of the better ones of us. And they killed him. So now they get what's left, which is people that are more extreme than he was, not less. So they kind of screwed that one up. We also have more violence. You have, in May, Logan Federico, 22-year-old college student visiting a friend in North Carolina. Again, North Carolina, guys. Was killed by a career criminal. Had more than 40 prior arrests. Like, what was this person doing on the streets, you might ask? Oh, restorative justice, progressive policies, progressive cities, progressive DAs. They think that we're helping minorities by continuing to release them with cashless bail. But what they're doing is they're just putting the citizenry at risk by putting these monsters back on the street. I don't use monster because this person's race. I use monster because they've been arrested 40 times for burglary and all kinds of things. Served out of 5 years, 411 days, was let back out on the street, and then murdered somebody. Again, this is a good versus evil problem. Evil murders, good protects. This was evil, plain and simple. Caroline Leavitt talks about crime rates in cities. So look at all the minorities Charlie actually were. Oh, yep, we already covered that one. But look at this. Caroline Leavitt, everyone. Let's watch this as a 2-minute video. Let's see.
higher crime rates while overlooking problems of high crime in blue cities. I'm wondering if the president would consider working with red state governors to fix high crime in blue cities like in Memphis, Tennessee.
So first of all, I want to get to the premise of your question, Reagan, which is being pushed by Democrats, that there is crime in red states. Of course, there is crime in all states.
True. But where is that crime happening, Ms. Levitt?
But the crime in these cities is all in cities that are run by Democrats. If you look at the list of the top 20 high crime cities in the United States, every single one, with the exception of one in Louisiana, is run by a Democrat. And
okay, so out of the 20 top crime cities in the United States, 19 out of 20 are Democrat run. What does that tell you?
these Democrats have supported the same policies that I spoke about at the beginning of this briefing, like cashless bail. If you look at a red state, Mississippi, but a Democrat-run city in that state, Jackson, in 2019, Jackson, Mississippi, eliminated cash bail for virtually all misdemeanor cases.
Okay, cashless bail looks pretty consistent, right? Who is committing the crime? Mainstream media? That's a good question. I would argue it's evil. Evil people are committing these crimes. They're being very violent. They're harming the innocent.
And while Jackson is not formally a sanctuary city, the state of Mississippi formally banned sanctuary cities, and this city has acted as a de facto sanctuary city for criminals and illegal aliens since 2017.
Oh, weird. So we have a sanctuary city, a blue city, in a red state that has banned sanctuary cities. That doesn't seem correct. How does this happen?
Same thing, Birmingham, Alabama, a Democrat-run city in a red state. In 2017, the Birmingham City Council unanimously passed a resolution, quote, committing to establish sanctuary policies.
Again, red state, blue city, sanctuary policies, unanimous votes. These progressives are not doing you a favor. They are not making their cities more safe. They are making them less safe. These policies are killing citizens. You got here Grant Cardone, a third. The U.S. is third in murders worldwide. Third in murders. Remove Chicago, Detroit, D.C., and New Orleans, and the United States goes from fourth to the bottom. These four cities have the toughest gun control laws in the U.S., and all four are controlled by who? Who? Who are you? Who? As Gardner points out, it's always the same side. If the guns caused this, then money caused this. We need stronger money controls on Democrats. That's fair point, Gardner. But guys, taking guns from law-abiding citizens puts them at risk. Evil targets the vulnerable. Never be vulnerable. Especially after this week, folks, you should be carrying everywhere you go to protect you, to protect your family and those you love, to protect others, to protect the innocent. Because who protects the innocent? Good. So be good. If you live in a state or a city where you are not permitted to carry, you should probably consider moving because you are at risk. Don't be at risk. Protect those you love. Choose good. We also had a shooting in Colorado by Desmond Hawley, whose father was reported as an unhinged person that really hates Donald Trump. I've seen reporting on both sides, just like in many of these stories this week, and we are still waiting for final word on these, but being affected by some extremist network that this lady calls out. Whenever the media doesn't tell you, it's because it's progressives, almost universally. When they don't tell you the name or show a picture of the perpetrator, a lot of times, it's because it doesn't fit their narrative. It's probably a minority. But in general, it's just an evil person doing evil. This person shot two students who are both, thankfully, at least as of the last reading I have, still alive. But the shooter took their own life. So they helped taxpayers and everybody else get some closure and saved some money. I just wish that these evil people, if you're going to take your own life anyway, just do it at home. Why are you attacking children? Why are you attacking innocents before you do so? Oh, that's right. Because you're evil. Because evil harms the innocent. As conservative alternative, Sam here posts the quote from Javier Milei. President Milei has done wonderful things down in Argentina. But this quote is the underlying values of leftism are envy, hate, resentment, and unequal treatment under the law and violence. This sounds like evil policies. It's strange how leftism, communism, socialism, all of these things are linked to evil. They shroud it in a guise of helping the innocent, right? They're like, oh, we should tax everybody so that everything is equal and fair. When has that ever happened in a leftist system? What socialist or communist government has ever been successful long term and hasn't resulted in the death of tens of millions of their own people? Which one? I don't know. It's a good question. He's proven what is possible. Yes, he has. Javier Milei has done wonderful things in Argentina. Everybody said he couldn't do it. They all said it was going to be a failure. And yet, look at their economy now. Look at their society now. We talk about it in the village. Sometimes, guys, you can just do stuff. He just did stuff, and their society got better. One of my favorite parts of the Bill of Rights is shall make no law. Are you talking about the Second Amendment? I don't know. Which part of the Bill of Rights are you talking about? Because shall not be infringed is one of my favorite things. I actually had somebody post, yeah, but what about nuclear weapons and stuff? And it's like, bro, I'm so 2A extremist. I think you should be able to privately own battleships and nuclear weapons if you can afford them. Why not? Why not? Yes. Yes, it's it's one of my favorite ones as well, Sith Master Dad. It really is. The progressive justice system failed her, everyone. It failed her 14 times. When a magistrate who does not have a law degree, because it is not required in the state of North Carolina, released a mentally unstable, diagnosed, crazy person, 14-time career criminal, back out onto the street. When these progressive policies of restorative justice and DEI and all this other progressive nonsense, when they are implemented by these district attorneys and magistrates and judges, who suffers? The citizenry suffers. The innocent suffers. So if we have a policy that causes the innocent harm and suffering, that's evil. These are evil policies, in my opinion. Everyone, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think these are evil policies created by evil people? I'm using the word evil a lot tonight. This week has shown what evil can do to the innocent. I think we should absolutely talk about evil and confront it where we see it. Do you think real evil, true evil exists in this world? Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, post out the live, guys. Let's get those viewer numbers up. Last update I had was 54. Let us know where we're at. We got to try and beat 1,000. Let's do it. So the justice system failed her. Absolutely. And who was the justice system? Oh, that's right. The magistrate. So this Congressman Randy Fine, as promised, introduced the Jail Act to hold corrupt judges accountable for releasing repeat offenders back out onto the streets. To the judges who released DeCarlos Brown Jr., you are the reason another innocent life was lost, and you will be held accountable for your reckless actions. This is only in the beginning. We're going to fix our justice system that prioritizes criminals over victims. We absolutely should. I hope this passes. I don't have a lot of faith that it will. Jared Isaacman has his own Air Force. That's true. His jet is pretty boss. I think he has a MiG of some sort. But why not? If he can afford them and he wants them, let him buy missiles. He can go out onto a range and shoot them and watch stuff explode. Again, if you use them against innocent people, that's evil, and it should be, and it is already against a lot of murder people, turns out. Strange. Multiple. Oh, he has multiple ones. Okay, well, hey, if he's got the money to do it, more power to him. But yeah, guys, this judge that released DeCarlos Brown Jr. back out of the street absolutely should be held accountable. So you see a picture here of the legislation, George Alexopoulos, G Prime 85, with his wonderful artwork. You should definitely give him a follow. Says, now we are talking. So again, I don't have a whole lot of faith that this is going to pass, but I hope it does. It's the kind of legislation we need to start seeing if we want to make positive change. Black Lives Matter responded to Irina Zaruska's murder. It says incident. I'm going to call it a murder because that's what it was. The response is shocking. Listen to what they say. This is somebody posting to Black Lives Matter. Let's see.
Right to violence. All oppressed people have a right to violence. And I'm going to tell you something. It's like the right to pee. You got to have the right place. You got to have the right time. You got to have the appropriate situation. And I'm absolutely convinced that this is it.
The right to violence. Nobody has the right to harm an innocent. Like, that right doesn't exist. Your rights are life, which they violated. They violated her rights. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. There is no guaranteed outcome in life, everyone. You have to do the right things. You have to be good. Do the right things long enough over time. Bring value to the market. Bring value to the people. Give people what they want. And you will have more. Look at Elon Musk, richest guy on the planet. Look at all the good things he's doing. He's doing the best that he can to try and make life interplanetary. Multiplanetary, I think he calls it. But he is launching more mass to orbit than anyone on Earth. He is developing a rocket to get us to Mars. He is developing the Boring Company, XAI, Tesla Robotics, Tesla Cars, all of these companies, and bringing value to the market. Be that guy. Be good. He's not harming innocent people. This is a direct call for evil, saying that people are justified and have a right to violence against the innocent, because that's what Irina Zaruska was, guys. She was innocent here. The monsters right out the gate, the evil people, were already trying to justify saying she was probably looking at something racist on her phone. This crazy person that hears things and thinks the government had implanted things in his body claimed, I got the white girl, or something to that effect, and then said that he did it because she called him the N-word. If he's already hearing voices and claiming that the government implanted things in his body, I don't know if I really believe what he says he heard somebody say, because he's crazy and he belongs in an institution at best. But this person is never going to integrate into society. Like, ever. So why are we trying to justify it and protect them? As Gardner says at the bottom, wait, what? Kevin here, the right to violence. So for Native American wars that the Buffalo Soldiers murdered and raped and suppressed the whole culture, so BLM, it's okay to do that. Do what to every black person? You're no better than the white Union federal suppressors when natives were moved across America. 3 times worse than the Bataan Death March. No one has the right to harm innocent black Americans for the crimes committed by their ancestors against humanity. No, sorry, you have to see your blood on the hands. That's a long statement. But BLM is a terrorist organization. Yeah. If Black lives really mattered, they'd stop shooting each other. Also true. BLM is a lie, blaming others and denying the truth. 94% of all blacks were shot by other blacks. Yes, and as Karen says, BLM is responsible for more than 40,000 excess homicides since Michael Brown. It's a lot of death. And as this post here from Rothmus points out, only demons celebrate murder. Why? Because demons are evil. And evil kills and destroys, while good protects and creates. Don't be evil. Don't be a demon. Kevin always has some interesting opinions. Yeah, he kind of does. Guns save lives. Yep, Charlie Kirk said that. It's still true. Guys. I see what you did there. Saw this art as we transition into Charlie Kirk's section. This hits different. Guys, this hits real different. We now have Charlie comforting Irina because they were killed back to back. As I said here, it's a beautiful piece of art, or a beautiful AI creation. I animated it and reposted it because why not? I think it absolutely deserves to be out there. Charlie was a force for good. Irina, as far as I know, did nothing wrong other than leave Ukraine to get out of the war and love America to the point where her family said to leave her remains here because she loved America. Yeah, guys, it just hits different. We get into Charlie. Tim Pool posts, this is why they feared Charlie. They killed Charlie because they feared his impact and his reach. College campuses were historically dark blue, but they shifted hard towards Trump in 2024. Young voters on college campuses shifted towards Trump. You can see the GOP gains per the map. Oh, that's true. She was killed last month. It did take some time for the footage to come out. Fair point, Karen. Yeah, I believe she was killed in August. So it wasn't back-to-back, but we did get the results back-to-back, right? The footage came out the day before, I believe on the 9th or 10th. So, fair correction. Yeah, guys, this is why they targeted Charlie. And we played the video of him arguing with the alleged shooter, and the alleged shooter just not having it. He publicly embarrassed him, right? Charlie took him to task and embarrassed him in front of everybody to the point where everybody was laughing at him. So now the more we learn, I can start to see why this person became more unhinged and why they hated Charlie. Democrats have relied on college towns for decades. Yes, they have, because they're centers for indoctrination. You send your kids to college thinking they're there for higher learning and debate and knowledge. And it turns out they just indoctrinate them against you there. I would encourage you, if you are a conservative parent with your kid in college, highly consider taking them out. There are plenty of opportunities in life without a college degree. I don't think it's worth the risk, personally. I've made six figures for a very long time, and I've done it without a college degree for most of it. Join an apprenticeship program. Go work in the utility industry. Go be a tradesman. Right? Go look at Mary Tiles, Texas. Go start a small business. Do something creative. Or just provide a service that everybody needs. Mow lawns. Paint things. Clean things. Right? Power wash sides of houses. Do whatever you've got to do, guys. But don't send your kids to these in-doc centers. Said you missed that one. Please share. Which one? Are you talking about the Tim Pool map? Talking about this one? Is this the one that you need me to share out? I can repost it out for sure. Just let me know. But yeah, guys, this is what they hate. The Charlie interview with this killer. I'll dig it out of my bookmarks and I'll repost it at the end of the stream. Or you know what? Here. You know what? We're doing this live. Bookmarks from yesterday. Let me go find it. Just bear with me a second, everyone. Bear with me a second. Hopefully I still have it pulled. Some things I don't bookmark. I just pull up live when I find them. I really hope I have this one, but it does not look like I have it. How is that true? The Ben Shapiro FU. That's a good video. I am going to have to go find that. Yeah, it looks like I don't have the link for that one saved. I apologize, Karen. Let me see. All right, yeah, I'll have to go back through my video from yesterday, and I'll have to find the link for it. Because for whatever reason, unless someone else wants to do that right now, Shell or anyone else in the chat, if you want to go back and look at the video real quick from yesterday, I did pull it up and play it on yesterday's episode, but I will try and find the link for it, and I will repost it as soon as I find it. No need to apologize. Oh, don't worry about it. I tried. I usually am pretty good about this stuff, but apparently I didn't save that one, so my bad. But guys, look, 0 Hour took a blog break from the internet, and when they came back, it has been spicy. But 0 Hour is tired of it after the Charlie Kirk slaying. This was the post, and since then, they have uncovered dozens and dozens of people who posted celebrating the murder of Charlie Kirk and holding them accountable, I'll just say. Finding them, unearthing and unmasking them. So like he posts here, I'm going to rip off some masks now. Bring me them all, line them up, tag them on this post. Anyone celebrating is getting tagged, and they are getting found. It's actually pretty insane how effective 0 Hour is. I'm very glad 0 Hour is not a progressive, but lives a TikTok. An update. Family member turned him in. He discussed the plans with his roommate. Hid the gun in the bushes before. Bullet casings had some messaging on them, and he was radicalized in recent years. The left tried to say he was a right-winger. They tried to say, oh, look, his Halloween costume from 2017 shows that he loved Trump. That's not true. Libs has been on fire doing this as well. Yes, Libs has also been uncovering all kinds of people. Good work, both of you. Eric here posts, the assassin. They found out today, it was made public, that they were living with a transgender partner who is a male transitioning to female. And the partner is speaking to the FBI. Charlie was shot after saying that there are too many trans shooters over the last 10 years. Wow. Yeah, guys, one of the things that he was talking about right before he was shot was this topic. New York Post is confirming. Everyone is confirming. Roommate was identified. This is the identified roommate. It's kind of crazy. But then over in the UK, Turning Point UK uncovered this person. So Charlotte Hayes, over 200,000 followers on TikTok, called for people to kill them all following Charlie's murder.
Pro-gun advocate Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck at his own debate rally. I try to avoid American politics if possible, but I've opened X to a bunch of little bitches crying and whinging about how political violence is never the answer. These people are gunning for politics that is inherently violent to its people.
I'm sorry.
Nope.
What? These people are unhinged.
These people are gunning for politics that are inherently violent to a population.
What? What does that mean?
To marginalized people, to people who need access to healthcare. This is the same across the West. This isn't.
And yes, Sith Master Dad, based on UK law, shouldn't she be arrested? The answer is yes.
Just the US. This is England too. I'm sick of this idea that you can't meet violence with violence. If somebody was smacking you in the face in the corner of a room over and over, you're going to hit them back. You have to. You're not getting out of that unless you do. These people do not care if you live or die. They don't. As long as you can work for them and make them money. And once you're useless, they don't care. They want you.
Oh, welcome to the chat, Ricky. I'm slow. Churches and charities get funded from the government, so your solution is not having to not have taxpayers. Well, that's weird because taxpayers that have paid taxes on their money tithe to churches and support churches. They have tax breaks, so they don't pay taxes to the government. I don't know what you're talking about. This is also not really what we're talking about at the moment, but if you want to bring that up, that's fine. I just don't think the government should be taxing people by force at the end of a gun to pay for policies they don't support. And trying to call out and say that I don't support feeding children is nonsense. I work at, support, and tithe to my local church. My church supports many local charities and outreach programs. Just because you know people that can't afford to pay for their own children does not mean that they are my responsibility to pay for. I pay for my own kids, and I do it by myself. My ex-wife does not support them at all. In fact, she has no rights or access to them whatsoever. So who gets to do that? Me. Why is anybody else different? Have some accountability and responsibility, my guy. So if you want to come in the chat and blow it up, that's fine, but come at me with a little more common sense than that. Okay? Right, the opposite. Yeah, from what she's saying, absolutely.
You to die. Why is anyone condemning that? Fucking kill them all.
I'm sorry. What did she say?
Fucking kill them all.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like,
nope.
Can we just not, everyone? Like that kind of, again, good versus evil. Evil kills and destroys. Good protects and creates. So, what? If someone has the beef with you, they have beef with us all. Well, I mean, that's fair. But Turning Point USA also posted, Turning Point UK, far left extremist Charlotte Hayes has now been evicted. Well done, Petticoat Lane Emporium, where she had offices, for doing the right thing. Kent Police, it's now your turn to do the right thing and arrest her. If you're going to have free speech laws, or no free speech laws, if you're going to have anti-free speech laws, they have to apply to everybody. But here you got the statement from Petticoat Lane Emporium. It has come to our attention a recent social media post made by one of our traders contained content that incited violence. We want to make it absolutely clear that Petticoat Lane Emporium does not condone, support, or tolerate incitement to violence of any kind. The individual in question has been with us for less than 24 hours, and following this matter being brought to our attention, she has now been removed from the premises. Our priority remains to provide a safe, welcoming, and respectful environment for all traders, visitors, and the wider community. Well, guess what? Accountability sucks, doesn't it? It's odd because I'm sure that the left isn't used to accountability. But that's fine. Donald Trump Jr. also here. Anyone notice that when one of our heroes was assassinated in cold blood in front of the people, including his wife and young kids, that not a single store in America had to board up their windows? This tells us everything that we need to know. Come here. I love you guys. Can you please keep it down a little bit? Okay. You're making a snake with yourselves? Yeah. What kind of... Okay, try it again. What kind of craziness? You're making a snake with yourself? Yeah. Okay, do it. Bear with me. Okay, she's crawling on the ground between his legs. Okay, and now? Now what? Now you make a bigger snake. Okay. Okay. You need more friends? Well, right now it's just the two of you, so... Maybe after the show. Maybe after the show I can help you make a bigger snake, okay? All right. Y'all have fun. Hey. Y'all have fun, okay? All right. Okay. We'll do that after the show, okay, babe? All right. Oh, man. Anyway, yeah, but guys... Karen says it's hilarious that black influencers immediately thought he was talking about blacks. Yeah. Yeah. Why would you think that? Why does everybody think that just because people call out evil or violence? It's interesting. This nice meme goes very well with the Charlie Kirk section. You want people that support Kirk's murderer to get canceled. Hypocrite. This coming from an NPC. To which he walks over and whispers, I support using all the left's tricks against them. I will not fight my enemies at a disadvantage for alleged principle or pride. Yeah, it is interesting. And Tim Pool has made this statement before, right? He's a very big advocate for free speech. But when you have a group of people who are willing to cancel and not follow free speech rules, why would I advocate for the free speech of somebody who doesn't advocate for it for others? If you want to cancel people, then I advocate that people are able to cancel you in return. Just like this meme points out, guys, why would people be fighting at a disadvantage just based on being accused of having principles or pride? Check those things at the door, guys. If these are the tools that they want to use against us, I think it's only fair that we use them against them, don't you? So in response, we should post out the live, everyone. Get our audience up. That way, if we get any more folks like Ricky in the chat, we can help educate them. Because that's what we're here for, guys. Have conversation. I would not be surprised if I don't have a couple of DMs or responses on some of my posts from Ricky. Ricky, where'd you go, my guy? Let's have a conversation. I responded to your post or your comment. What do you got in return? Tim Walls, everyone. He knows school shooters. He knows all kinds of people, per his own words. Well, let's see what he has to say here.
The former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, said, "No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core."
Oh, stochastic terrorism much. You're actually dehumanizing the president. Somebody that they've tried to kill twice at least. And you think it's okay to continue to use that language. Interesting choice. I mean, you and your friends must get along really well. And his audience is cheering for this kind of language. That should tell you something.
Let that sink in and don't be a damn bit afraid of saying it, because that's exactly who he is.
Ah, yes. The biggest fascist that ever fascist. That's what they claim about Trump, right? He's a Nazi. He's a fascist. He's a sexist, a bigot. He's the worst person ever. Why do you think they use this kind of language when they're talking about our president? I like this. And a nice follow-up note to leftists. It is the lioness that are the hunters. No one does more harm to Americans than Democrats. I'm trying to find a way to disagree with these statements, but it's really seems fair. Gigabase Dad, you have been given your mission, gentlemen. Get married, have children, build a legacy, pass down your values, pursue the eternal, your creator, and seek true joy. Eventually, we will replace the nihilists. This is your mission. We need to have more kids. We need to bring our children up with the proper values. We need to protect them from the leftists, because right now the leftists are sterilizing their own kids. They are not having more kids. But what they're doing is they are taking our kids and corrupting them against us. So pursue your mission, men. California Doge, welcome to the chat, by the way. Says, seek true joy. Absolutely. Seek true joy indeed. Karen, if Bush was Hitler, then Trump has to be the worst. Is there laughable logic? Yeah. I don't know how Trump is worse than Bush. I don't know. What do you guys say? Who do you think is worse of the presidents from the last few decades, guys? We have, what would be George H.W., Clinton, George W., we have Obama, we have Trump, Biden, Trump. What do you guys think? Who do you think has done more harm to the country? Karen says Obama. Fair. There was a lot of division that started during Obama's years. It is said that race relations haven't really been worse in a long time since then. Everybody assumed that if we elected an African American for a president, that race relations would get better, but then that president became very divisive. Well, when everyone is Hitler, then no one can be. Very fair point, California Doge. Very fair point. And guys, definitely go check out California Doge and the website there. Go support them. They are trying to get to Amerifest 2025. Support them. Find a way to Doge your local community, your state, your county, your city, and contribute what you can. I will lend my voice. That's the best way I can contribute. I don't have the spare time and the bandwidth to do a lot more than that, but I know if I spread the word that it might reach somebody who does and can. I know we have many people that are in our audience on a regular basis that are already working to help California Doge their state and community. So keep up the good work, everyone, and repost the live. Help get the viewer count up. I would appreciate it. We move on to our section on culture. Doge designer here says, thank God that Elon Musk bought Twitter. Can you imagine the outcome of the election and what our culture would look like right now if not for Elon Musk purchasing Twitter and converting it into X? Where would we be if not for this man? He risked $46 or $47 billion. Took investments, bought Twitter that was failing. It was hemorrhaging money. Probably going to shut down shortly after. Wanted to pay less. A judge forced him to buy it for the full price. He bought it anyway. Ended up selling it to XAI, I believe, for the full value. So ended up working out pretty well. But guys, how would our culture be different without Elon buying X? I ain't to help in Missouri. Oh, I want to help in Missouri and think we need local county city level Doge as well. There you go, Karen. You can find a way to help out. Just reach out to California Doge. Go to the website. Send them a DM. Why women get L's, everyone. We have a star Harvard professor, this fine woman here. Business professor stripped of tenure and fired for manipulating data in a study on dishonesty of all things. Like how? The study on dishonesty. Yes, buddy. You don't know where your sister is? You heard her come up here? Did you look behind the curtain? Is she back there? No. Did you look in the bathroom? Yeah. Did you? You did look in the bathtub? Okay. No? Haven't seen her? Why don't you look in the cabinet? I was going to say, you should look in the cabinet. I think she was hiding in the cabinet. Oh, the irony. Absolutely, Karen. God, you just hate to love to see it, don't you? Tenured professor fired for manipulating data in a study on dishonesty. Like, well done. Say, we will help in any state can start with their own. Doge, Michigan, Kansas, West Virginia. Soon, she is the best at hide and seek. She really is. He could not fight her, and she just poked her head out of the cabinet and said, ha, I was hiding in the cabinet. Number one hide and seek, everyone. Any better, and she'd be on a milk carton. Okay, that was kind of a dark joke, but you know what? I was in the military. Get used to it. Eric Doherty says, wow, Ben Shapiro made the audience erupt after this simple fact. Okay, let's check it out.
It's always such a silly argument because if God wrote the book, how could there be things we don't agree with? It either got to be perfect because it's written by you-know-who, or it's just not perfect and written by people, which it was, obviously, and it's full of nonsense and wickedness and things that are everything but virtuous.
So, Bill, you and I...
The interesting thing about the Bible, guys, it is not a book that tells you how to behave. Like, there are the commandments, right? So there are a couple of things in there where it tells you how you should behave. But the majority of the Bible is stories. It's stories that present scenarios, and it is scenarios that demonstrate that when you make poor decisions, it has poor outcomes. It is a book on morality, morals, character, things that you should probably not do. And there's some things in there that it tells you to do, but it doesn't pass judgment. It just demonstrates, hey, if you do these things, bad situations might occur. And here's an example of a story. Like, don't have sex. Don't let your daughters get you drunk and have sex and have kids with your daughters. Like, that will probably fracture your family and cause a bunch of nonsense. The Old Testament is kind of wild, guys. But there's still something to learn there. Depravity is bad. California Doge says, what? Yeah. Can I DM you in Cali? Can I DM you, Callie? I was listening to you live earlier today. Yes, definitely. Absolutely. See, guys, we're making connections in the chat. I love to see it. Like, it's one of the things I love about this platform and going live and the audience. We get to connect people. We can talk, converse, share ideas. It's so wonderful. But yeah, back to the Bible and Bill Maher.
So, Bill, you and I agree on morality. I'd say like 87%.
Morality,
87.5.
but not from the Bible.
I have a question. Why?
Because it's for slavery. Because it's okay with slavery.
Why do you and I agree on morality like 87.5%? I'm a religious Jew. You're an atheist. Why do we agree on those things? I'll tell you. I mean, I can give you my answer.
Yeah, please.
Because we probably grew up a few miles from each other in a Western society that has several thousand years of biblical history behind it. And so you can think that you hit that triple and you formed your own morality, but the reality is you were born morally on third base.
No, okay.
Oh, look at that look by Ben. It's like, dude, you're born morally on third base. Like, the entire society is built on Christian values. Like, my guy, you know that murder is wrong. You know that idol worship is wrong. Like, you know all these things are wrong because the commandments and Christian values. Like, I disagree with Bill on most things, but I have watched him for decades because I respect that he refuses to cross lines that are obviously too far. That's true. He also will talk to most people. Now, his audience is a lot of seals that clap for nonsense, but like, you got to kind of respect that he still brings people with opposing views on. God, I got into some culture, got some memes pulled into culture, guys, because this is really what the culture is about. This is what real men want. Ladies, take notes. Take notes. Why is it so hard? Women, why is it so hard to know what men want? It's really not, ladies. It's not hard at all. The strange thing is most of you don't even bother to ask because you don't care. Most people are just so selfish nowadays in our society and our culture. They're so embedded in their phone. They're so just worried about themselves. Hey, guys, please stop. Get out. Hey, get out of there, please. Okay, you can play hide and seek, guys, but please be nice to the furniture, okay? Don't slam doors. Don't slam cabinets. Braids? I could do a braid. Do you want me to braid your hair later? Okay. Dad duty. I got to braid hair later. Not right now. Okay, but not right now, baby. Okay? Hey, I'll do it right after the show, okay? You can undo it, but I'll braid it later, okay, baby? All right. Sure. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, guys, that's not hard to watch. Look at that. Second picture right there. What do we want? Read it to the kids. Gotta love it. Going hunting with your trusty dog, your kids, church. Look, I just said we're going to church tomorrow. I'm talking and having fun with my kids and the kids that love you. Like, yeah, I'm missing one of those items, but hey, look, that's the thing I need to fill, right? It's pretty easy, guys. TPUSA and Daily Wire have set the standard. Yeah, they have. Society needs more of this. Giga-based dad. Yeah. Family. Church, religion, Bible. Oh, let's see. No, it doesn't. It needs more of this. Okay, let's see what it says. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius.
Nope.
Define this before we make it gospel. Zen vibes, whatever. Oh, university. That would be a nice thing to add to universities. What do you think? Nice statue of Charlie. The wife with the W. This is probably one of my favorite cartoons that I saw yesterday. Turning Point is now global and will be Charlie's legacy. It will. I saw a post earlier that they have had thousands of applications for chapters worldwide since Charlie was taken. Wife with the W, though. Mom, why aren't you depressed like everybody else today? Because I'm not a vegan. I quit my terrible job. I frolic in the sun. I don't watch the news. And I love your father very much. To which the girl saying fucking legend. Like, W, mom. W. This is what men want right here. That's it. They always make it seem like a negative, like it's some kind of oppression. You know, we want to keep you barefoot and pregnant. We want to oppress you. Why do women think that this is oppression? Like, what propaganda that Obama is allowing? What propaganda has the government done and the culture done against you? We know it's feminism, but like now, feminism has been around for a while now. Why do people still think that this is a form of oppression? And there's always an excuse like, well, you can't afford to live and only have one income. That's not really true. You just need to make different decisions, have different priorities in life. You may not be able to live in the city center. You may not be able to live where it's more convenient. You may not be able to work at the place that you work right now. You might have to make some sacrifices. But you know what? Those are more investments than sacrifices. They're investments in the family's future. The better outcomes. Sith Master Dead says, because of feminism. Yes, I agree. But guys, this is the way. This is the culture that we need to return to. Men are better off being the providers and protectors. So go do your part. Go provide and protect. And women, it just makes more sense that you are the nurturers. You build the home out of a house. You are much better equipped to do this than most men. Are there outliers? Sure. But the majority of cases, it is the norm and the better outcome to have the gender roles do what they do best. Why are we trying to force men to be women and women to be men? It's dumb. We should stop doing it. That's my opinion. You may not like it. That's okay. We're allowed to have differing opinions and not hate each other. I just don't understand you. Alpha Fox, it's not that difficult. Guys, yes. Again, this is not a race thing. You could make this guy Asian or black. It doesn't really matter. But the reason cops don't mess with me isn't because I'm whatever race, in this one, white. It's because I don't commit crimes. It's a good versus evil statement. Because good protects and creates. And it turns out protecting and creating don't really draw the ire of the government. Whereas killing and destroying, like evil does, tends to be illegal. Destroying someone's property is illegal. Murdering somebody is illegal. I got in a huge back and forth yesterday on X about Kyle Rittenhouse, guys. They still haven't let that one go. They still think he murdered people. They don't understand the difference between homicide and murder. Homicide is the killing of a human by another human. All murders are homicides, but all homicides are not murder. It turns out justifiable homicide is a thing. Kyle Rittenhouse was on the ground in Kenosha providing medical support to rioters and non-rioters alike. He was trying to extinguish a dumpster fire that was being used to try and set a private business on fire. And when he tried to put that fire out to prevent it from spreading to the small business that he was trying to protect, he was attacked by protesters. One of them he shot. He ran. Another one hit him with a skateboard. He shot him in the chest. The other one pointed a Glock at him and he shot him in the arm. It's crazy that people still think that Kyle Rittenhouse committed murder, and a lot of people actually think that Kyle shot black people. It's all not true. And the odds that both people he hit, the odds that all the people he shot were pedos and abusers is kind of crazy. Kara says, both my grandmothers work by choice and were still able to live this. Yes, my mother as well worked and was able to figure a way to make it work. Shout out to you, Mom, for being a working mother and still finding ways to make it work and provide a stable home for myself and my brother growing up. So thank you very much, Mom. Fair point, Karen. Thank you, Mom. You are wonderful. Still are. Keep it up. And I will do my best to be a son that you can be proud of. And the last thing in culture, guys, save the West, defend the faith, preserve your traditions. This was from a few weeks ago, where this 12-year-old had to stand up to a migrant with a knife and a hatchet to protect herself from being abused or attacked. And it's crazy how this Scottish girl has become a symbol of resistance and faith and culture. Even more so now as the UK rises up with Tommy's March today, with the slaying of Charlie Kirk and everything else. This is a cultural icon. God bless her. She obviously has a man that loves her after watching your interview with your dad. Yes, you can also see the interview that I have with my father. It is live on my channel, Patriot Files #1, where you can hear his story from growing up with my grandmother after his father passed away, raised him herself, to his time in Vietnam and elsewhere. Check it out on my channel. Yeah, this wonderful as we get into memes, guys. Karen, I'm sorry. We all know this is from the Ball Hog Brenda Garbage Pail Kids card. Whoever made this is amazing. When the 80s meet a Karen, Ball Hog Brenda, everyone. This is a reference to the unhinged lady that stole a ball away from a child and a father. The father was weak. Never should have happened. But, good Lord. Here's the next meme. You got the drug cartels have elected to receive. This is my sports reference, everybody. You don't see many of these, so enjoy it while you can. But the cartels have started to receive the full force of the military. Karen says, I am offended. I'm sure you are. But guys, the military is starting to just murk drug runners and drug boats. We had that video a couple of weeks back. It's wonderful to see. Got Rothmus posting, we just want some common sense gun. And you got this, shall not. The government shall make no laws. This right shall not be infringed. Just getting smoked right in the face. Yeah, guys, no common sense gun control. That's nonsense. There's no such thing. Gun control is illegal. And all the cities that have it are not doing well. When you get robbed and the robber pretends you owed him money. Taxation. We had a conversation a little bit ago with our friend Ricky about taxation and the use of taxes. This one's for you, Ricky. Coast Guard did not they apprehend the guys and sank the boat. Yes, they also did. They sank another boat after apprehending some guys. They also grabbed a bunch of Haitians and took them back to Haiti. So that's another fun one. Speaking of taxes, we got a Winnie the Pooh one. I love honey. But you know what I don't love? Taxes. This is based Winnie the Pooh right here, guys. He's right. Yeah, guys. I don't love taxes either. I'm with you. Airport logic, everyone. Please explain this one to me. A reasonably sized lady, 110 pounds, with a 51-pound bag, not allowed. You get fined. You get to pay extra for an oversized bag because of its impact on the plane, right? That's the justification. But then you have a 300 or more pound monstrosity with a 49-pound bag. That's perfectly acceptable. In fact, they might need 2 seats, but they'll probably only have to pay for 1 because airlines are being silly. Based Pooh Bear. Yes, Karen. Absolutely. But yeah, guys, please explain this to me. The 2-pound difference in these two suitcase pieces, but then you have a... What would that be? 190-pound disparity between the people, and somehow they're treated differently. Make this make sense. Pay by the pound. I mean, we'd almost be better off if people did. Just enter your weight when you're going to buy a ticket online. What do you think? Do you think they would lie about their weight? I think they would. Fat people would be like, "Oh no, bro, I'm like a 10, right? I probably weigh $105." Yeah, I think they would lie. They're dishonest to begin with. Chapan, with this one, it's great. When she asked you to be truthful, so you tell her you used to stack bodies for Uncle Sam. Yeah, this probably won't help you get a lot of relationships, guys, but this was a post for the 69-hour space. Pay the difference on boarding. They may not be able to afford to board. But you know what? I'm almost okay with that. I like this idea, Karen. Let's see if we can get that implemented. My dad will appreciate this one because I know you're watching. But it's true, guys. These are dads after you move out and quit leaving the refrigerator door open and the bathroom light on. Well, the funny thing about this is now that my parents have started to visit me as I got older, is they also just like to leave lights on. So when I visit them, I do the same. I used to work for the power company, and they're just, and I would just walk around and turn on lights. It's funny how the turns have tabled, isn't it? But yeah, when my kids finally move out as successful adults, I look forward to stacking these stacks of cash when they stop leaving the refrigerator or freezer open. That happened once already. Bless their hearts. I love them to death. Oh, Sith Master Dad shared this one right before we started. Put it in the post for the live stream, but couldn't change the skin color, but he felt it was important to keep them white. It's like, you're hiding the whites underneath the floorboards, aren't you? It's like, yes. Yes, I am. Hiding them from the Nazis. For the record, I weigh 150 pounds, so I am a bit biased. Well, I mean, that's not 300, Karen. That's definitely not 300 pounds. So, fair. I like the last time I weighed myself, I was 194. I'm trying to get back down further. I think my goal right now is like 180, 175. I was up to 335, 340 at my heaviest. That was uncomfortable. I don't recommend it. So I've been working on that. I'm trying to eat better, trying to do the right things, do a little bit of exercising. You know, so I look better. And I feel better. Because I really do. When I was 335, 340, or 200, Jesus, 300, I would feel awful. No, when I was 235 pounds, I did not feel good. Like, I don't recommend it, guys. Definitely worth trying to, I'm going to save these two for the very end. So we are going to, oh, looks like Gardner submitted a few. Yes. Gardner, you have no idea the fire you've ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. This was Charlie Kirk's wife. This is a quote from her in her speech that she did. I believe it's about 14 minutes long. If you haven't heard it, you definitely need to go watch all of it. It's definitely worth watching. I don't think the left understands what they have done by martyring Charlie Kirk. I think they really fucked this one up. Democrats, here's a nice meme. Democrats, the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and CNN standing by doing absolutely nothing, not helping anybody. And America is the victim in all of it. That is a very accurate and unfortunate meme. Just think of the incentives here, but on the flip side, the airlines will target the fat people. Yeah. Just think of what kind of a cash cow they could be. I'm sorry, that was insensitive. I'm not sorry at all. Please share that. I'm going to post these memes out on the stream after we're done. Which one specifically are you wanting, though? I will make sure to get that thread posted after we're done. Yeah, guys. Talk about this one, the Democrats attacking America. I will definitely include that one. That one was given to us by Gardner himself. The Democrats' trail of tears. Yep. All the people that their violence has led to the end of. Unfortunate. So that is the last one from our friend Gardner. So let's see. Do we have any more? We've got Karen. Karen always comes clutch. Karen always has some good memes. Let's see. Yes. We have this one, the Times cover. Enough. The killing of Charlie Kirk and the epidemic of American political violence. Epidemic. On which side? I wonder, Time. Which side do you think that is an epidemic on? I'm curious. So you have this one. Let's talk about it. For a person in the front, just smoked the dude at the booth because that's what Charlie Kirk did, was talk. You have the guy there with the stabby knife, apparently in reference to Irina's killer, and the mainstream media in the back, MSNBC. It's not your fault. He made you angry. The MSM one, yes. Who? Time? I don't know, who time? Yeah, guys, definitely. The media is supporting this nonsense, and you'll see liberals, anybody not liberal enough, let us take your guns so things like this happen less. Yes, the calls for gun control are very loud and yet silly, because in the wake of this, where you get Democrats smoking Charlie Kirk and then them saying that Republicans need to calm down, do we? I think you just awoke a sleeping dragon, and it's not going to go well for you. Just like this, Charlie Kirk was killed because of what he had to say. He was not killed for what he had to say, sorry. He was killed because the young were listening to him. Yes, this was the same thing as the Tim Pool chart from earlier, right? Showing the impact that Charlie Kirk was having on college campuses nationwide. They were afraid of the impact he was having. They were afraid of his future prospects. People were positing that he was going to be running for president, for many other things. They were afraid of Charlie. So they took his life. The assassin said Charlie was full of hate, and there were Antifa markings on the bullet casings. So you're telling me he's MAGA? Yes, that was the narrative that the Democrats tried to go with, guys, is that he was MAGA. And it's not gone well. It didn't age very well at all. In fact, it turns out that he was a leftist. The only one in his family, the black sheep, he went to school and got turned and then started living with a transgender dude. And then you get this. The left try to tell us that we've been brainwashed. Does anyone on the not left actually feel like you've been brainwashed? I'm curious. Let me know what you think, because it doesn't really feel like I have been, but I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but I could be. I just know that evil kills and destroys, and good protects and creates. I choose to be on the side of good. And I think most of the people in my audience do as well. But a lot of the people that I've seen posting in the last few days, as we've seen all these murders and slayings, I don't think a lot of these people on these platforms choose good. And that's unfortunate. I hope that they find their way to Christ, because right now, I think the only entity with enough power to save a lot of these people is Christ. So I think we just need to pray for them. It's one of the things that they hate the most. When you tell a progressive loon that you are going to pray for them, they tend to get very upset. So I'm going to end with these two, because these hit hard, especially as a parent of two young children. Women always accuse men of having no emotions. But then you get this. I can't believe he didn't cry during Titanic. That's a stupid movie where a whore slept with somebody in economy class and then let her family suffer for decades as she hit a gem that she then threw into the ocean because she was pining after the guy in economy that she banged while her fiance was wondering where she was. Yeah, that's a really good story I should cry about. No. Do men even have feelings? Yes, we do. Look at this. Look at this video and tell me that you don't have feelings. You crazy psychopaths. The innocence and the love of a child. You heard it. Hi, Daddy. Like, This is something that he will never get to experience again. He is in a better place. He is with our Lord and Savior and his Creator. He is in heaven. But his daughter will never get to do this. His wife said that his 3-year-old daughter was asking about him, and she had to tell him that he is on a mission with Jesus. Guys, this daughter will never experience this ever again. And you think this doesn't hit us dads in the feels? It absolutely does. Like, the evil that has been done is unimaginable. Everything is a psyop, according to Chatban. I mean, he's probably not wrong, but we're going to wrap on this one today, guys. I will work on getting the memes up as a thread after I get the kids a bath and get them put to bed. And apparently I need to braid my daughter's hair. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for posting out the live. If you can, actually just post that out at the end as well. Go to the profile. You can see here, I'm still doing it live, guys. Go to my profile. Go to my website. Find ways to support me. You can also see I have pinned my schedule. Monday, Wednesday, Friday evening update, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Saturday weekend update, weekly update, 7 p.m. Eastern. Monday, Two Vets and a Gardener coming soon, 8:45 p.m. Topic exchange on Tuesdays at 8:45 p.m. as well. Shell and Christina have a Bible space they hold where they go through different verses and books in the Bible at 4 p.m. Eastern on Sundays. So check them out as well. Yeah, guys, go to my website. Check it out. Find ways to support me there. Come talk to me. Come join us in any of our live streams where we can interact, just like Ricky. Although Ricky apparently ran. But guys, do you think someone will pick it up, Lord? This is the microphone that we must all pick up. They have taken Charlie, but you know what? We are all Charlie Kirk now. The mainstream media has failed us, so we must become the media. So join me. Help me. Do what needs to be done. Someone will, Charlie. Someone will. And that someone is going to be us. So thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you, as always, for supporting the stream. But guys, hug your loved ones a little more this week. But also, go out there and choose good. This is a battle of good versus evil. Choose good. And be good to each other. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. God bless. Love you. Bye.